Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is another video in mathematics, past licensure exams in mathematics. And I hope that through this video, you will be prepared to your respective engineering licensure exams. And I hope that I can contribute even in a little way to your success. There are certain number of problems here. There are problems here, and I will also present extra problems to enhance, to reinforce the concept. And good luck to your preparations. So for problem 1, E-board problem, the polynomial x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8 is divided by x minus 5. So what is the remainder? So there are many methods on how to find the remainder. For this case, you can use long division, you can use synthetic division, and you can use the remainder theorem. I hope that you know how to solve this by the long division and by the synthetic division, because I'm going to present the fastest and easier one, the remainder theorem, which is applicable only when the divisor like x minus 5 is linear. So that means when remainder is f of c, where c is the value of x when the divisor is set to 0, so it is 5. So substitute into the original 5 cubed plus 4 times 5 squared minus 3 times 5 plus 8. So the remainder is equal to 218. So I leave the other way, solution by synthetic division, although I'll have synthetic division in problem 2 so that you will be able to recall techniques on synthetic division. For problem 2, what is the quotient when quantity x to the fifth plus 32 is divided by x plus 2? So take note that x to the fifth plus 32 can be written as x to the 5 plus 2 to the 5. And in general, x to the n plus y to the n, which can be factored when n is add as x to the n minus 1, then plus alternating signs, so minus uh, fourth power of x times the first power of the second. So it's like that. So it is x to the fifth plus 32 to the plus 32 equals x to the fifth plus 2 to the 5. Just like factoring out x cubed plus 1, or x cubed plus 1 cubed. So the factors are x squared, then minus x, then plus 1. So alternating signs. So in this case, x to the fifth plus 2 to the fifth is x plus 2 times x to the fourth minus x cubed times 2 to the 1 plus alternating sign minus then plus the power of x descends by 1, so x squared, the power of the second term ascends by 1, so times 2 squared. That's why it's 2 square here. First is x to the fourth, then 2 to the 0, so that's why x to the fourth, because 2 to the 0 is 1, then minus x, then 2 cubed, then plus 2 to the fourth. Simplifying, x to the fifth plus 32 is x plus 2 quantity x to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 16. So therefore, when x to the fifth plus 32 is divided by x plus 2, this is the quotient. So x to the fifth over plus 32 over x plus 2 is equal to, the quotient is x to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 16. So that's the answer to this problem. I hope that you were able to uh, verify this. Then another solution by synthetic division, we arrange x to the fifth, the dividend x to the fifth plus 32 into descending power of the variable x. So that is 1x to the fifth plus 0x to the fourth plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 32. So it's already arranged. Then we collect the coefficients of the terms of this dividend already in descending power of x. So 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 32. Then the root of x, because the divisor is x plus 2, is negative 2. So we have here negative 2. We draw horizontal line. We bring down the first coefficient here, 1. And negative 2 times 1 is put negative 2 here, then add. So this is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. I hope you can recall the process of applying synthetic division. Applicable only when the divisor is linear. So 4 times negative 2, negative 8, add negative 8 times negative 2, positive 16, add 16 times negative 2 is negative 32. So that's why the remainder is 0. So this represents the quotient. Originally, it is fifth degree. After we divide it by a first degree divisor, it reduces to the fourth degree. So therefore, we interpret this, because these are the coefficients of the terms of the quotient, as x to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 16, which is the same as that. Then we proceed to 4. Find the value of a in the equation x to the fourth plus 4x plus 10 over x cubed plus 2x squared plus 5x equals, this is already the decomposed partial fraction of this original fraction here. So we have a over, because the denominator here is, if we factor x out, so we have x times quantity x squared plus 2x plus 5. So it consists of a linear divisor and a quadratic divisor. So this is the one way of decomposing this fraction here into partial fractions. So a over the first linear denominator x, then plus b. This is the technique in integral calculus, that is the derivative of x squared plus 2x plus 5 is 2x plus 2, then divided by the denominator, then plus constant, divided by same quadratic divisor. So we multiply everything by the LCD, and after we multiply everything by the LCD, sorry, I'm talking about 4. We still have to solve problem 3. So y minus 3x plus 4 equals 0, y plus x squared over y equals 24 over y. So solve for these simultaneous equations. So from here, we multiply everything by y, so y squared plus x squared equals 24. Then we substitute the value of y from the first equation, which is y minus 3x plus 4 equals 0. So that means y is 3x minus 4 into this equation. 3x minus 4 squared plus x squared equals 24. Expand 9x squared minus twice the product, so minus 24x plus square of the second. So this is 9x squared minus 24x plus 16 plus x squared equals 24. Combining like terms and simplifying, 10x squared minus 24x minus 8 equals 0. We can divide everything by 2. So 5x squared minus 12x minus 4 equals 0. Using the quadratic formula, take note that A is 5, B is negative 12, and C is negative 4. And the quadratic formula is x is negative of b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So x is negative of negative 12 plus minus square root of negative 12 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 4 over 2 times a, which is 5. So this is 12 plus minus 144 plus 80 is 224. Square root of 224 is 4 square root of 14. So this is 12 plus minus 4 square root of 14 divided by 2 times 5 or 10. So since we can reduce this further to 6 plus minus 2 square root of 14 over 5. So x is 6 plus minus 2 square root of 14 over 5. Then for y, this is y, 3x minus 4. Y is 3x minus 4. So y is 3 times x. This is the value of x. 3 times 6 plus minus 2 square root of 14 over 5. So that's x, then minus 4. So it is 18 plus 6 square root of 14 minus 5 times 4 minus 20 all over 5. So simplifying, it's negative 2 plus minus 6 square root of 14 all over 5. So that's it for this video, for this part. So next, find the value of a in the equation. So I already explained this in the preceding part. So these are now the partial fraction decomposition. So to solve for a, we multiply everything by the LCD, which is this denominator here. So x squared plus 4x plus 10 equals a times quantity x squared plus 2x plus 5 plus bx times 2x plus 2 plus cx. So after we multiply by the LCD, which is this, x times quantity x squared plus 2x plus 5. So to solve for a directly, x is common factor to the second and the third terms of the right side. So if we set x 0, this will not be involved, then we can solve for a directly. When x is 0, set x is 0, you can set any value of x. If there are 3 unknowns, you can set 3 different values of x, solve the 3 simultaneous equations using your high-tech calculator. But for this case, we are just looking for a, so set x equals 0 to so that the second and the third terms of the right side won't be involved. So 10, set x 0, 10 equals a times 5 because x is 0. So that means a is 2. That's the answer. But I want to continue this by solving for b and c because the question might be to decompose the fraction into these partial fractions. So let's continue. By this time, as I said, you can set x is 1, set x is 2, leaving only 2 unknowns, b and c, then solve the 2 equations simultaneously. You can do that. But instead, I'll use the other technique, which is equating coefficients. So first, equating coefficients of x squared. Coefficient of x squared in the left side is 1. In the right side, we have a and 2b because this is 2b x squared. So 1 equals a plus 2b. Since a has been found, 2, so b is equal to negative 1/2. So b is equal to negative 1 half because a is 2. So 1 equals 2 plus 2b. So b is negative 1 half. Then we set coefficients of x in the left side 4, and in the right side we have 2a, then plus 2b plus c. So a is 2, 0, b is negative 1 half, negative 2 times negative 1 half is negative 1, then plus c. So that means c is 1. So c is 1. So that's it. If we continue the solution, then for the extra problem, ME board, resolve x plus 2 over x squared minus 7x plus 12 into partial fractions. So we equate that to a over x minus 3, then plus b over x minus 4, and vice versa. Now, the denominator here can be expressed as product of linear factors. So x minus 3 and x minus 4, we call this for case 1 where the denominator is composed of distinct linear factors. So that's why if the denominator is linear, the numerator is 0 degree. First degree, then 0 degree. First degree, 0 degree, or constants. So to solve for a and b, we multiply everything by the LCD, which is x minus 3, x minus 4. So that would be x plus 2 equals a times x minus 4 plus b times quantity x minus 3. To solve for a, we set x equals 3 so that b won't be involved. So that 3 minus 3 is 0. So set x is 3. So 3 plus 2 equals a times quantity 3 minus 4. So that means a is negative 5. Then to solve for b, we set x equals 4 so that this would be 0. So 4 plus 2 equals b times 4 minus 3. So that means b is 6. Therefore, when we decompose this into partial fractions, then it is equal to negative 5 over x minus 3 plus 6 over x minus 4. So that's the partial fraction decomposition technique. So if it is a technique in the board exam, all you have to do is you don't need to do this anymore, but this is the way where you can test yourselves if you can recall how to decompose original fraction into partial fractions. So that's best for you. But for survival purposes, using the calculator, my suggestion is this. There will be choices. There will be choices. So this equals the right side, and this would be one of the choices in this problem, perhaps. So the left side should be equal to the right side. So all you have to do is evaluate using your calculator the left side and evaluate the right side. There are 4 choices. So the one that gives an identity or equal value of the left to that of the right is the answer. So for instance, you may set x is a value of x that will make this equation defined. So you cannot set x is 3, you cannot set x is 4 because this will be undefined for those values dividing by zeros. So my suggestion is value of x that is unique. So for example, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35, 0.5, whatever. So evaluate the left side at x is 0.25 and it should be equal to the value of the right side at x equals 0.25 also. So that's the technique. Then I proceed to B. The arithmetic mean of 80 numbers is 55. If two numbers, namely 250 and 850, are removed, what is the arithmetic mean of the remaining numbers? Arithmetic mean means average. So therefore, the sum of these arithmetic terms is equal to the number of terms times the average or arithmetic mean. So we can compute the sum because n is 80 and the arithmetic mean is 55. So S is 80 times 55 and that's 4,400. 4,400. Now, if two numbers, namely 250 and 850 are removed, then there will be 80 minus 2, so 78 terms left. And the arithmetic mean is equal to the new sum divided by the new number of terms, which is 78, or 80 minus 2. The new sum is old original sum 4,400 minus 250 minus 850, then divided by 78. So arithmetic mean new is original sum minus the two terms removed divided by the new number of terms. So substituting 4,400 minus 250 minus 850 over 80 minus 2. So the arithmetic mean, the new arithmetic mean is equal to 42.31. So that's it for this video.